So thank you so much, Mr. Kapoor, for joining here at the Bridge India magazine. We are privileged to have you for this discussion, which is primarily on your efforts in the area of women empowerment. Tech Mahindra Foundation, or Tech Mahindra also as a brand, focuses a lot on women empowerment. How do you think empowered women would lead to a self reliant India or would contribute in strengthening Atmanirbhar Bharat?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much, Karan, for inviting me for this interview and to share my perspectives on this extremely important topic. Even though we talk about the International Women's Day once in a year, but I think every day is worth being celebrated as a Women's Day. Um,
Absolutely.
Coming to your question, I feel the whole idea of a self-reliant India is incomplete without the idea of self-reliant women. I mean, you can't think of any society being self-reliant unless women who constitute 50% of the population, are also self-reliant. So unless women and men are at an equal platform, no society can really reach its potential, let alone reach, it can't even get close to its potential.
Right.
Now, since we know that, historically, this balance has been more in favor of men, or rather, it has been sort of loaded against women, it is
Hmm.
critical for social development organizations such as Tech Mahindra Foundation and all others to include this in their agenda. And I'm really happy to tell you that when the corporate social responsibility policy of Tech Mahindra was being written, and even
Hmm.
before that, when the whole idea of Tech Mahindra Foundation was being discussed, we ensured that empowerment of women or inclusion of women is an important cross-cutting theme in all our work.
Hmm.
So there are two cross-cutting themes that we have. One is disability, because we also believe that inclusion of persons with disability is a very important part of any society. Equally important is the inclusion of women. So we
Hmm.
have that enshrined in our policy that in whatever project that we undertake, the role of women at all levels, as every stakeholder, is something which is important. So
Right.
financially independent women, or those who contribute to the family income, I think can significantly raise the socio-economic standards of any society. And that's what all of us must aim at.
Right. Mr. Kapoor, what has been women's contribution in strengthening Tech Mahindra's vision at large?
So I'll first talk about some specific projects or programs that Tech Mahindra Foundation implements, which have women. I'd like to start talking about our flagship skill development program, which is the program, an acronym for Skills for Market Training. Now, since its inception in 2012, we have been ensuring that at least 50% of all the students who are trained, all the beneficiaries of the program, are women. Now, that's not how really the workforce is. We know that in the workforce there's almost 80% men and 20% women. But we've balance by promoting a few initiatives which are especially women centric. For
Okay.
example, in our healthcare academies, which is like a flagship for our work in skill development, we
Hmm.
have an academy in Mumbai, which is an all women's academy. I think this is probably the only skill development initiative in healthcare of its kind, where
Hmm.
not just the students, but the entire staff, including the security guard at that academy, is a
Hmm.
woman. So that's how we've kind of made
Fabulous.
a statement about working with women. Also, we are working with certain specially vulnerable sections. So, for example, one of our centers here in Delhi focuses on women who are victims of domestic violence.
Hmm.
That's an unfortunate reality in our country. So we've chosen to again, stick out our necks and say that we would want to find ways by which we could integrate these women into the workforce.
Hmm.
Similarly, in all now, one important initiative that we are working on right now is an entrepreneurship development program for women, which we feel is extremely important, especially in the post-pandemic era, because
Right.
as we know that the economy was significantly hit, especially at the bottom of the pyramid, and
Right.
that's where I think it's very important to promote micro enterprise or entrepreneurship concerned. So these are just some of the examples that I wanted to share in terms of what we do.
Right.
And now coming to the question that you asked about women's contribution in strengthening TMF's vision,
Hmm.
again, happy to state that Tech Mahindra Foundation is probably the only subsidiary of Tech Mahindra which has more women in the workforce than men.
Hmm.
Currently, out of the 180 people who work for Tech Mahindra Foundation, more than 100 are women.
Oh,
And
wow.
we've always had, more women than men, including women leaders. Our
Hmm.
earlier CEO, for example, Dr. Loveleen Kakkar, has significantly shaped the vision and the journey of the foundation. She was
Hmm.
the CEO for almost about 8-9 years, during which a lot of the progress happened. Also, all the 4 healthcare academies that we currently have in Delhi, Mumbai, Mohali, and Pune are
Hmm.
led by women. Both the program heads that we have at the Foundation for Education and Employability are women. Critical functions such as HR and communications are managed by women. So you
Hmm.
can see that it's not just about participation, but participation at a central strategic level. Okay,
Right.
all of these women that I mentioned are part of the annual planning of the foundation.
Right.
So I've been working in this sector, and I can say for certain that the kind of empathy and compassion, and even commitment that women bring to the table
Right.
exceeds that by men by a long stretch. So,
All right. I would not like to contest that thought. I'm sure you are experiencing that. So, I believe, Mr. Kapoor, the foundation was also recently honored with CSR Times 2020 Silver in Women Empowerment for your
yes.
SMART program. So, congratulations to you on that. What are your thoughts on this recognition, and how does it boost recognitions? How do they boost your work and your passion?
Well, thank you, and we're grateful for this affirmation. Any recognition or any affirmation of our work helps us to, stretch ourselves more. And of course, it's happy to be recognized. But I would say that there's still a lot more that needs to be done in this space.
Right.
We as a foundation would, never sort of just sit on our laurels and kind of be happy about that. We would want to do more, stretch ourselves. And I think as we go along, I would say that more and more of our work is going to be qualitatively focused on ensuring that women empowerment in the truest sense becomes integral to our work.
And I totally agree with you, Mr. Kapoor, that empowered women empowerment at all levels actually would lead to an empowered nation. Thank you so much for joining us, all of us at the Bridge India magazine. A privilege to have you. It was great talking to you and wishing you good luck for your future efforts.
Thank you very much, Karan. Thank you. And thanks to Bridge India for considering me for this interview. Thank you so much.